What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Zoomer Perspective. I'm Jackson.
And I'm Jacob. And if you hear little squeaky noises, that is Finley. He's currently in the office with us while we were recording. So please pay no mind to the pterodactyl noises in the background.
Second guest, 2 episodes back to back with Bowman's. Let's go.
He won't be speaking anything like legible, so just ignore it. It's just sound effects.
Next episode.
Yeah. Anyways, this is episode 11, and today we're just kind of sharing just some life lessons that we have learned in our short life.
Because I don't know, I think
no matter how young or old you are, you have something you can learn from. You have something that you can share that somebody else can learn from.
Yeah, real. I feel like we've both been on a pretty good track, so we have
I would like to say so.
Good things to take away from that. I guess if you've done bad things, you could still have takeaways. Just maybe,
for sure,
a little less credible.
Really? No way. That's a life lesson you've learned within the 5 weeks that you've been alive.
Bro's learning a lot. He's got a lot to share.
He's learned how to burp. That's a life lesson right there.
That is a life lesson.
Anyways, now, Jackson,
the next life lesson is not to burp around girls.
Whoa! Why don't you tell us about that?
Be a gentleman. Let's not treat girls like the boys. And then wonder why you have a dead marriage. Anyways, so
is that a life lesson you have learned? Did you make that mistake?
I will not be having a dead marriage. Because I won't burp around my wife. That's too easy.
I 100% burp in her face.
That's the craziest thing.
Without a doubt. I'm teaching this little guy to sneeze on her too.
That's wild. You will not ever catch me burping in my wife's face. It's not gonna happen. My parents raised me better than that.
I'll go psst, psst. I have a secret. And she'll go, ew. And then we laugh about it.
I don't know. Burping is definitely not as bad as farting. I know couples that fart in front of each other, and I'm good. Girls don't fart anyways, so how does that happen? So
hey. How to feed babies, so little laps on our side. So if the cut's a little weird, that's why. But Jackson,
you're getting fed.
Yeah. Anyways, so what you were saying was that you will not burp or fart in front of your wife, right? Is that kind of what you were saying?
I'm not going to do that.
Why?
I mean, if it happens, I drink, a little bit of soda and a little burp comes. I mean, it's definitely happened a couple times before, but I'm not doing what you're doing, and I'm definitely not farting in front of her, bro. That's nasty.
So once you're married, if you go to the bathroom, are you going to shut and lock the door just so she doesn't come in?
Yeah. Well, why would I not do that?
See, I think you think crazy. That, but I promise that'll probably change.
So that's what you say, but I kid you not, bro. That's literally what my parents still do to this day.
Weird. So are you
20 plus years of marriage?
Interesting. Well, that's because they have kids now. So they shut the door.
No, I was talking to my dad about this, and he felt the exact same way as me. He was like, yeah, that's crazy. I don't understand people who do that.
I don't understand people that do it in public. But Lexi and I, in the little break we had, I asked her about it. And she's like, no, that'd be weird. Because that is, for us, it's just, or whatever it is. Okay. It's humans' natural stuff. And so we're not going to be scared to hide something because then we feel uncomfortable. No. Instead, we don't feel uncomfortable.
Hiding it. It's not scared of hiding it. It's not like, oh, I ate something, now I'm a little gassy. But there's a difference between oh, hey, I'm not feeling good, and I let out a fart, or you drink something carbonated and you just burp. And there's a difference between that and oh, I feel a little fart. Let me fart on my wife.
That's
crazy.
That's crazy. Farting on them, that is crazy.
Or let me he hears me like farting right next to each other while we're hanging out instead of like, if you feel it coming, you like excuse yourself real quick.
You like get up and walk away and no shot. Nope.
That's
no,
crazy.
because then we jest at each other.
I do not want to have my wife farting around me, bro.
Because she does something. I'll be like, wow, did something die? And then she'll giggle and laugh. And then we have fun with it. We laugh about it.
That's crazy. That's actually...
So, I guess that's
you're not going to catch me like that, bro.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. You do your own. But I guess that's something that I've learned, a life lesson I've learned that I didn't know I've learned. And it's that it's okay to feel that comfortable around each other because it just means that you are so close.
Let me ask you something.
Hold on. It just means that you're so close that none of that is gross to one another. I don't know if you know how children are made, but it's not birds come down from above. So things get pretty intimate. Farting isn't weird.
No, it's not that it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so grossed out by a fart. But like, if you like see your wife farting and pooping and burping, like the level of attraction you might have for her after that goes down a little bit.
No.
You're going to tell me it's the exact same. After you see like your wife doing nasty stuff, you're like, oh, hey, kid number 2, like, let's go. There's nothing gentlemanly or like classy about like, oh, my wife's taking a dump. I'm not going to give her privacy. I'm going to like just barge into the bathroom because I need something and I don't want to wait. Like if you're in a hurry, okay.
See,
maybe like,
and I guess for us, we just decided that there's no such thing as privacy when you become one. When you're dating, absolutely.
There is when
obviously.
You're taking a dump.
See, for us, it just doesn't matter. I mean, we've straight up had a full on conversation because it's just a normal thing that people do. Like it's not gross. It's just, you gotta go to the bathroom. That's just, it is what it is.
Yes, it is gross. What are you talking about? It's literally.
No, and I'm sure most people feel that way. And I'm sure most people think we're really weird, but I'm just telling you that for us, that's one thing that we've learned. Weird. One thing we've learned is there should be no such thing as privacy from your other significant other. That's just
not. You're conflating like privacy as in like I feel like you're taking that as in like secrets or something like that.
No, I just mean in general. It's just it doesn't matter. Like it's irrelevant. Like if that's what you would choose to keep it that way, great. But for us, it's just
that's crazy.
It's just a normal thing of life, and we don't blink an eye at it.
Sure.
So
I think
we just don't care.
You should do what you can to keep a level of attraction and like I don't want to say like mystery, but that's kind of what it is in the sense of like
mystery.
Yes, like that's kind of what
mystery of the throne.
Mystery of the throne. No, I'm tracking what the throne's for. All right. I'm the king. All right.
Okay. Well, okay. Conclusion of this rabbit hole that we've gone on about taking it down.
Jacob is freaking crazy and wants to poop in front of his wife.
No, that is not at all what we have. Not at all what we have said. The conclusion is now I lost it because you said that.
No, you're good. Conclusion is Jacob does not think that kind of thing is a big deal. And you necessarily need privacy from that. I won't lie. I understand where you're coming from. I think it's super weird though. And
I would have said the same thing.
Really?
I would have said the same thing.
Change your mind? That's crazy.
Because, yeah, it all changes.
I think like this episode is turning into should you poop with your wife?
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Have you seen?
Anyways,
these memes. I sent one to real quick before we digress.
There was one meme I sent it to my girlfriend, and it was like date ideas or something like that, and it was all these like different 2-seater restrooms. That's crazy.
So, have you seen the ones too where it's like
movies and dump together?
Which toilet are you like taking the hardest dump in? It's like different scenic toilets. Have you seen those?
No. Dude, I don't watch toilet memes, dude.
Let me find it real quick.
No, please don't. Let's digress. Let's take us.
Okay, all right.
All I'm saying is, I don't think that you should let something like that affect how you see somebody, because I believe it is just a normal thing of human nature, and we shouldn't make a big deal and make it weird. That is all I'm saying. You can take it or leave it. I don't care. Let's move on to the next.
All right. Jake doesn't. You don't want to talk about your poop in life. That's okay.
I'm just saying that is what I have learned. Like, this is about life lessons, things we've learned. That is something I've learned after being married for 2.5 years. It's just people have human nature. It is what it is. You don't have to make it weird. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. That's it. Sure.
I think we agree a little bit more than we disagree, but I'll still we definitely disagree in one area, but that's all right.
I mean, to each their own.
We'll check up in a year from now, and
see how it goes. Yeah, and a lot of people might agree with you and think it's strange. I don't know. I'm not ashamed to say it.
We're tracking. I don't care. Don't worry. We're tracking. You're not ashamed, bro.
My family listens to this. I don't care. You're welcome. Right. I'm sorry.
All right.
Sorry, y'all had to hear that. If you needed to skip through, I'm sorry, but it's time to pivot. Okay.
Fast forward. Welcome to episode 11. Should you poop with your wife?
Not with. Should you be ashamed to poop in front of them?
Should you get two
No, you should not be ashamed to. You should not be ashamed to fart in front of your significant other.
You definitely should.
You shouldn't.
Have some class. Be a gentleman.
All right. We digress.
Okay. All right.
Back on topic.
So, all right.
Should you throw up in front of them?
Would you throw up?
I'm just kidding.
I would not encourage my wife to sit there next to me while I'm throwing up. Hey, sweetheart, let me.
No.
Let me go on this battle.
All right. Okay. What? Okay. Anyways, so that is something you have. That is one of your life lessons and advices from high school is don't fart in front of your girlfriend. Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
What else?
Sure. Or
you were talking to them about.
Well, we can actually pivot off of that a little bit.
Pivot
a little bit. Something I've just noticed though, and this is not to like poke fun at you, but a lot of the couples I've noticed who are like the farting burping couples and just kind of like being gross. Good push though. What I've noticed, and this is definitely something I would say is even more important, but just like being gentlemanly with your girlfriends, with your wife, getting the door for her, like treating her like a lady. I think
absolutely.
That's something that's really important because I remember in high school, I went on a date with this girl and like just a normal date. Right? I think we literally just went and got coffee and I got the door for her when we went into my car. And I remember she told me later, like that was like a big thing and she really liked it. I think too, even her parents had made a comment about it as well when she got back.
It's a big way to make a good impression.
This guy is something because I just went and got the door for her.
Yeah.
And was I being intentional and like being gentlemanly? Yeah, absolutely. Like it was something I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get the door for her. It was intentional, but I wasn't thinking like, oh, this will make the parents really like me and so on and so forth. It just kind of had that side effect. And I think that's something that's important. And a lot of guys don't think about is like, you should be treating your girl like a lady, because if you want a girl to be like feminine with you and to be like a lady, you have to treat her that way.
True.
That's something I kind of learned throughout high school and going out with.
Yeah, that is a good lesson to learn. I obviously will get Lexi's door like anytime we're walking in and out and that type of stuff. As far as car door goes, I never did get into the habit of it. Like I would always forget.
Not be bothered to get the door.
No, it was just always forgot or whatever, or she beats me to the car, so now one of us is putting the baby in and the other one's starting the car and getting stuff, and so we don't do that. So I think that's definitely something if you start early on while dating and you continue to do it and make it a habit, it can be a really neat thing.
Well, yeah, it makes you stand apart, like as a guy if you're still dating. But even like my girlfriend really likes it when I get the door for her. And I remember I had this conversation with this couple one day, and they had made some comment, I can't remember, but then I said something like, yeah, then you're like gonna expect your girlfriend to get the door for you or something like that. I was poking fun at them.
Oh,
and
I see.
and the guy was like, oh yeah, I can never. But the girl, she made some comment and she was like, oh, I'm not waiting around for him to get the door for me and stuff like that. And I was like, I thought that was really weird. I was like, you wouldn't wait for like
that is the other thing,
man, to be gentlemanly. I thought it was really weird. But what I've noticed is once I started doing it, and this happened with multiple girls I went out with, and right now with my girlfriend, it happens like they would just wait at the door for me to get it for them. Like even if they beat me, like say like we're goofing around and we're racing, and I let them beat me because obviously I'm faster. But say they get to the door before me, like they would just stand there and they would wait because they know like, okay, Jackson's gonna get the door for them. And I don't know. I think just like
that is it takes both people definitely, because like
it
was a struggle for Lexi and I both, because she couldn't remember to wait and I couldn't remember to get the door. Like if I saw her waiting, I'd go get the door, but it was something that neither of us were used to, and we tried it a few times and it never stuck, just because it just wasn't something that we did.
Like I don't think, I wouldn't say like, oh, you're not getting the door for your wife, so you're
I'm specifically talking about a car, obviously. Like when we're walking into a place, normally I'm ahead of her or behind her, and so occasionally she'll try to open the door and I'll swat her hand and open the door.
There you go, and put her in her place.
And she laughed. It was really funny. We were walking to Chili's one time and the lady was just laughing because she saw me swat her hand.
That's funny.
And so anyways,
well, I just think too, like the more broader point that kind of shows is like just treating your girl and making her feel special and making her feel like a lady. So
definitely,
it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you have to get the door, otherwise you're not being a gentleman.
No,
I mean, I would probably say like, I mean, you should. And shoot, I lost my train of thought.
Wow.
It doesn't necessarily mean you only need to get the door for her, but you should be treating her in a gentlemanly manner, treating her like a lady, because that's how I found they have like good relationships with a woman, is when you have that relationship with one another, like being a gentleman and she's acting like a lady.
Definitely. I agree. And like I said earlier, it is really hard to get into that habit once you've been together for a while. So if you start out and make it a priority to do it, it's a little bit easier to keep it stick.
True.
So that's true. For people going into relationships or just started one, that's definitely something that I've seen, and Jackson has obviously learned in our short time on this earth.
Yeah. And like, I remember the very first time I did it with the first girl I went out with. Not the first girl I went out with, but the first girl I did it and went out with, if that makes sense.
You did what?
When I went to get the door for her. The first date that I did that, like I was like, oh, I should start implementing that. That'd be a good thing to do. Like I was kind of like, it sounds so weird, but I was like kind of nervous. I was like, oh man, like, should I really do this? But I was like, nah, I'll do it. It's fine. Like there's no way they would, if they don't like you getting the door for them,
then you have other problems.
That is a red flag. That is the biggest red flag ever. So I was like, okay, well, if she gets upset with me doing that, then I'll know. You know what? Date's off. I'm actually busy, but yeah, I just like went and did it. And once you do it, like you said, like, then it just becomes a thing. Like you set like that expectation for yourself.
Yeah.
And because there's that expectation of you acting a certain way, then she's going to have an expectation to act another way. And it causes like this like male and female dynamic that, like a grandparents would have, that people look back fondly on, of like, oh, why aren't couples like this anymore? Well,
exactly.
Because you have to act the way that they.
You have to try. It takes effort.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely. So I don't really know how to pivot smoothly, so I'm just going to go into the next thing that I have learned, which is learn from other people's mistakes. Like we watch people, first of all, watch and listen. Get off your phones. Stop technology coping. Get off your phones. Pay attention to life around you. Because especially Jackson being the oldest, he is the test dummy. So his siblings get to learn from his mistakes.
Yep.
And the dumb things he did. I'm the youngest. I had 2 older brothers. I got to learn from their mistakes. But if you just watch and then you go and make the same mistakes, come on.
You're stupid. Yeah. What's the Bible verse? It's like a wise man, like, no, wait, I don't know if it's in the Bible. There's a saying. I think it's just in the Bible, but there's also the quote of like a smart man like learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from other
people's mistakes. Yeah.
Yes. There's that quote. But if I'm not mistaken, there's like somewhere in the Bible, it talks about something similar like that. I can't.
Probably
escaping me right now.
Would have best. Anyways, that being said, that you just watch people and realize where they've made their mistakes, and if you can be transparent and look at your own life and realize where you've made mistakes, or don't fall into those same mistakes. Like, that is something I've learned. I know not everybody is capable of doing that, like watching somebody else and learning from their mistakes. Yeah, a lot of people just, they can't. They have to learn. They have to make the mistake themselves and to learn from it. But if you can learn from other people's mistakes, definitely do. And then another thing,
I think too, what that reminded me of real quick before I forget is like being honest with yourself. That's probably one of the most important things I've learned. And going a couple of years that I've been an adult, like, you have to be honest with yourself about the situation you're in, like your actions, what you're doing. I mean, there's been times I've been doing stuff and I'm like, yeah, this is a really good idea. I really want to do this thing. I can't think of a great example right now. But then I was like, okay, let me be honest with myself. Like, why am I really wanting to do this? What is this action actually going to like do in my life? Is this actually going to be beneficial to me? And I had to just be honest with myself about the things I'm doing. And if you don't do that, you're never going to be able to reflect, learn from your mistakes, like you just said, Jacob, and like see how you're doing something that somebody else might have been doing, and realize, well, I'm kind of following down the same path as them.
Yeah. Well, and not only be honest with yourself, just be honest in general. Like, own up to your mistakes. Like, that is something that is huge. Like, it doesn't matter where. I could get a job anywhere, because after a short amount of time, people trust me, because I don't lie. If I make a mistake, I own my mistake. I've found that if you own your mistake right away, people are more likely to help you fix your mistake, versus if they find the mistake and then you own it, then they're going to be mad at you first. Versus if you hey, I made this mistake, take the criticism that they yell at you, and then they will help you fix it. Sometimes they might just go, all right, and then help you fix it. But like, if you just start out by being honest and owning your mistake and just accepting it instead of talking back, then it makes life and so much simpler. It makes people trust you because they know you're going to do that. And then showing up on time. And then
that's a big
thing. If you show up on time and you're honest, you can get a long way in any career.
And I think too, like having a good attitude, that's a big one.
Yes, definitely. Staying positive.
Is even like
very difficult to do sometimes.
Yeah, that's so true. It is hard. I realized, like, with school, with work, which is anything, like if you just show up and you're like, show up for work, I'm glad, you know what, like this might suck, but I'm getting paid, so I'll be in a good mood. Show up to school, okay, well, I'm learning something, so I'll have a good attitude. Even like in the gym,
do everything like you're doing it for the Lord. I mean, that's biblical. So, but we all fail at it.
So you have to have a good attitude, otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how many times I've gone to Brahms or the lumber store, or whatever, and people just look so depressed, like they hate their life. I'm like, then why are you here? Like, why do you work here if you don't enjoy your job? Like, either have a good attitude or get a better job.
Yeah,
I understand some people aren't in the place to do that. So just have a better attitude. Like, it's not that hard. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes even just having a better attitude your body responds to how you think. So if you think negative, your life is going to be negative. If you think positive, even in the bad times, you will have a positive life.
Like, you actually
will be happier.
You just touch on a really good thing is like, if you tell yourself, oh, this isn't that bad and things are actually pretty good, I don't really need to be worried, I don't need to be upset, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I really noticed this at basic when I mean, it just sucks sometimes. Like, like long day, you're tired, you're getting in trouble a bunch, you're having to do all these exercises, you're just having a miserable time. But I would just tell myself, I was like, well, yeah, like this sucks right now, but I only got a couple more hours to deal with it. I can go to lunch or
absolutely
got a couple more hours, and then it's time to go to bed. So, and then I'll get some downtime. I can get some sleep. Like I always just told myself, and even like during the beginning, I was like, well, you know what? This is only temporary. Like I'll come out stronger, mentally stronger. I'll be in good shape. Like this will benefit me in the future. So you know what? It's not that deep. Like it's fine. And I realized like that gave me a much better and a much more positive outlook on things compared to some of the other guys. Like you could just tell like they were really letting it affect them. And so they're just like stressed out, getting pissed off at everybody. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I never got angry at other people for the things that they were doing or getting us in trouble. But I realized I did not do it as often as some other people. There were some other people and I just swore like every day they were just angry and upset and mad at the world. And it's just like, dude, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep. Yeah. And the other thing is we need to stop using I'm tired as an excuse. Like if you use I'm tired to not go do things and then you just sit around on your phone or whatever, like you're missing so much. Like you only have 24 hours in a day. And if you use that as an excuse, then you're missing out. So, go to bed at a good time, get up at a good time and get your amount of sleep. But then if you're tired in between that, suck it up. If you can take a nap, take a nap, but like just stop.
Or caffeine. Hello.
Or caffeine. Yeah. But I just remember just friends be like, hey, you want to do something? Like, no, I'm tired. I'm like, okay. Did I ask?
I don't know I don't know that might be like a decent excuse.
No,
but like if you have work to get done, if you have something you need to be doing,
let me specify.
Like, I'll put it off.
Let me specify. They used I'm tired as an excuse not to do something versus like just saying, no, I really don't want to hang out or I really don't want to go do that right now. Instead, I want to play a game with my friend or whatever. Be like, okay, great. Thank you for being honest. Go have fun. So you
would prefer like say you text me and you're like, hey bro, you want to hang out? And I'm like, I'm tired for the day. I don't want to go out. You would prefer if I was like, nah, man, I just want to stay in today instead of being like,
I would rather you be honest and just be like, oh, I'm tired. And then I see you playing a game.
Okay. I think so you're just saying like people who use I'm tired as an excuse to not be doing things when really like
they just don't want to go do it
with that.
Yeah. That is one sense. That is one sense of the word. And the other time is just when you are physically actually tired and you use it as an excuse not to go. Like, for instance, we go to these business functions and they're from 9 o'clock in the morning. We have a little break in the afternoon till 11 o'clock at night. And then we normally hang out, go get food, play some board games, stuff like that. Part of me is like, oh, I'm really tired and I want to go to bed. But the other part is like, I'm going to miss, I'm only with these people a few times a year. And this is the only evening that I get to see them and hang out with them. Am I really going to go use I'm tired and go get sleep and miss out on this opportunity? Or am I going to just suck it up and take advantage of this opportunity? That is just an example that can be used for like work. Like if you need to get homework done or something like that, sometimes you do actually need sleep. Like your brain can't function. Like if you need to get homework done, take a 20-minute nap and then you might function better. You can't just use that as an excuse. Obviously now we have to go to bed just because of the baby, because we got to stay up through the night with him and stuff like that.
Fair.
But just, I don't know. Sometimes I think we like our sleep too much. And so we miss out on a lot of opportunities in life because we're sleeping.
Yes, I think too, like when you're not, I don't know. I see what you're saying. I don't know if I would completely like agree with it, but I do agree with you. Like you should be like sleeping enough, and then like
Yes,
you shouldn't be missing out on life during times that you're supposed to be living life. Because,
definitely.
like you're staying up all throughout the night and not
Yes.
getting any sleep, and so you're like just ruining.
Obviously, you need to
yourself.
set aside your time and get your sleep. You need to not use it as an excuse for not getting things done.
Mhm.
But I think also in those scenarios where like you're at a church camp out or something, and you're like, well,
Mhm.
no, I got to go to bed at this time and to get this amount of sleep. I'm like, suck it up for an evening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're going to have a really, really fun night with friends and people you enjoy hanging out with. And it's going to be a memory that you get to keep for the rest of your life instead of the dream you
Mhm.
would have had sleeping. I think
actually,
sometimes you just need to
agree with
look
that.
into that.
I would agree with that in the sense of like you can
Responsibly,
like
obviously.
there should be parts of your life where like you are just like staying up and you're like enjoying time with friends because you're like I think of my spring break trips with my friends. Like we'll stay up super late. We're just like goofing around. And then like we wake up super early and it's just like all day, just like silliness because when we get back home, we'll catch up on sleep. Then like
Exactly.
we'll take a nap.
See, that's
then.
where it's responsible.
But
Like if you have
Mhm.
the opportunity to where you can catch up on the sleep or whatever, then it's great. This whole topic being about the lessons we've learned, I'm not telling you should do
Yeah.
that or whatever. I'm just saying that is something I have learned is that sometimes in those nights where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to go to bed, it is every time I don't regret staying up because I still have those memories to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with you in the sense of like opportunities with other people to
Definitely.
be doing stuff. That's not a good time to be like, oh, I'm just tired, so I'm
No.
not gonna see you guys. But like if you're just up late, and
Yeah,
you're
if you just
like,
stay up playing
scrolling,
Minecraft,
yes,
you
yeah,
got
like
issues.
bro, go to bed.
Go to
Like get
bed.
some sleep. I'm definitely guilty of that sometimes. There's been some nights
Yeah,
where
me
I'm
too.
like
Before baby, definitely.
the other night, my roommate and I, we just started a playthrough of Ocarina of Time and we were up until like 2 playing that. And I looked at the clock, I was like, oh my gosh, I got class tomorrow. Like it's 2 a.m. I'm going to bed right now.
I haven't stayed up that late, but I stayed up late a few times grinding the new Black Ops 6 zombies with Noah, and I'm like, oh, I got to get up at 6:30. It's like it's 11 o'clock. I need to go to bed.
Dude, I heard that is kind of gay. Black Ops 6. Is that true?
I don't know. I've only played zombies, so
okay. I heard the campaign like you can play as like a transgender.
Oh, I'm sure it's like actually gay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Like literally like gay people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's zombies. It's fun. So anyways, and lately I've stayed up way too late trying to fix this stupid printer.
It's based when you stay up late, like finishing a task.
Yeah. After this podcast, I'm going to go fix our sink because right now our cold water isn't working because I have it disconnected. Anyways, digress. Digress. Any life lessons you want to add to that?
I think kind of go off with like spending time with friends. I think friends is a pretty big one that I've learned. In the sense of like,
especially in high school,
it's really important the people that you hang out with.
Oh, 100%.
I have a friend of mine, at least he was a friend, and he got in with some like crazy stoner pothead guys, and like they did some crazy stuff, and it like wrecked his life in high school. And it really sucks because he's a super cool guy, but
yeah,
thankfully he's not hanging out with them anymore. But I remember talking to him through high school, and he's talking about some of the stuff he's doing, and I would hear things, and I'm like, dude, this guy's wild, and I'm very thankful for my friend group I had in high school because we're all still super close to this day, and they've been a great influence on my life. But then I see other people who have horrible friends and are a really bad influence on their life, and I'm like, wow, it's important the people that you're hanging out with.
Yeah. I think it's important to have friends that are in the same stages of life with you because like for us, we have friends that are also married, and some have kids, some don't, some are fostering and stuff like that. And that's really important, because if you have friends that are in a lower stage of life, like still goofing off like they were in high school, then you're going to tend to follow that. And that's not what you need when you're married and have a kid. Like you can't be that person. You need to be more mature. And so if that's the friends you're hanging out with, then that's not good. To where if you have friends as a couple together, not only do you get to spend time together, but you get to spend time with friends. You do it independently, do it together. It's a lot of fun. So I think just having friends in the same stages of life help you move through life.
Yeah, and I think too, like I think about my friend group, I think one of them is getting married, but he's like in North Carolina right now, so I don't really get to see him a whole lot. But then like the rest of my friends, I think one of them has a girlfriend right now, but everybody else is single, and so it's like,
well, you're still in that transition phase of stages of life. Like some people might be a little bit behind, but in the most general, your mindsets are all.
That's what I was say. It's like, but it would be weird if I'm starting to have kids and I'm like really focusing on my future, and I'm still friends with people who, like you said, they're like staying up super late, just playing video games, just like living life carefree, and I'm trying to take life more seriously. Like, there's pretty big disconnect. And then I think especially too, just people say like, oh, you know, I can be friends with anybody. You know, we don't have to have a ton in common, but I think that's kind of like a psyop almost, because the closest friends that I have,
and I think that's the difference between a close friend and just friends.
I would agree, but I know some people who they're friends with people, and I'm like, dude, how are you like such close friends with this guy? Because you guys have nothing in common at all.
Yeah,
like no foundational things in common. I think like if you know you play like a video game together and you're friends, like okay, yeah, you go to the gym together, yeah, that probably works. But then like I don't know, a good friend you're able to like do all those things with, and you have like a foundation
and someone you can like talk with about serious stuff. And that's why it's important to have them in the same stage of life, because they can understand and get you. I still have friends that stay up late or whatever, and but they're not my like the close friends. Like they are good friends, but like they're not the friends that Lexi and I will invite over to our house and have dinner and play board games and that type of stuff with. They're more my friends from high school that, you know, when I go back home and visit, I get to hang out with them and have a lot of fun and stuff. They're friends I enjoy being around and doing stuff with, but they're not like the close friends that I don't know how to explain it. Share the detailed part of your life, I guess.
Yeah, like I would always tell like, I can't remember who I talk about this with a lot, but there's like layers. You have your like really close friend group in the circle, and then there's like people
you have your inner circle
levels. Yeah, definitely. And that inner circle, those are the people where like, I'm in some deep trouble and I need some help. Those
absolutely
are calling, and you're depending on the other, and those are the people you're sharing your life with, and those intimate details, like you said. And the people on the outer levels, you know, I bump into them, hang out with them, hit like a gym workout, but like you said, not sharing interpersonal details, inviting over to the house, spend time with the family and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think there's 3 layers to it. You have the outer circle, you have the like imagine like a pipe. Like you have the outer edge of the pipe, and then you have the actual thickness of the pipe itself. Like you have where my finger is, like the thickness of the pipe, and then you have the inner circle. You have the inner circle, then you have the mid, and then you have the outer. And so the outer is,
I always thought of it like an onion,
or that
pretty generic, but I think it kind of works.
Yeah. You just have the inner circle, and then you have the almost inner circle that you are close with. You could call them if you need help, but they're like not as close as the other ones. And then you just have people you're friends with.
Yeah, I would agree.
So,
all right. Well, those are kind of the big things I've learned throughout life. I can't think of anything else that's really.
I mean, we've lived, you know, so many years, so we have so much.
Yeah, I mean, we're like both so old.
So old. Yeah, like for sure.
Basically.
So, no, these are just the things.
Being little and thinking 20 was old. That's crazy.
Anyways, these are just the things that we have learned in our short life, and we wanted to talk about them and let y'all listen. So hopefully you guys found something intriguing and potentially learned something, hopefully.
Or just thought differently about it.
Yeah.
Like farting in front of your wife.
Why did I know you were going to go back to that? If y'all enjoyed, and this is your first time, make sure you go check out our other episodes. If you would like to share with us or leave your perspective, you can email us at thezoomerperspectiveshow@gmail.com. You can also go to YouTube and leave a comment on this video. You can also go to YouTube and see us. Hi.
Yes, hello.
Other than that, make sure you follow us, follow our show, and tune back in next week.
Yep. Sounds good. I hope, like Jacob said, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you in the next episode.
Peace out.
We talk about our other perspective on
something else. Yeah.
Yep.
Where we share our perspective about taking a whiz on the moon.
In front of your wife.
In front of your wife.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
See y'all.